Make your point on the News Hour. Join Arnab every night on the News Hour with your question. Ask your question and join the debate.
And I just want to make, clarify where I stand on this. It's important to stop the trolls, right? But I don't trust the government to do it. The worst thing that you can do is tell the government to stop the trolls. And that's where Maneka Gandhi's got it completely wrong. Let's debate tonight with Karan Talwar, founder of SNG Comedy. Sumanth Raman is with him. Shilpi Tiwari, activist, is with them. Sorabh Pant is going to be joining us. So there he is. No, he's not there yet. He's going to be joining us in some time. On the other side tonight, on regulating the trolls, is Sona Mohapatra, songstress and music producer. In the case when she spoke against Salman Khan, she was trolled in the most vulgar, crude and offensive way. And I must say, Sona, that you were very brave to take them all on. You showed remarkable courage and strength at that point of time. Advaita Kala is with us, Vikram Bhatt filmmaker is with us, and Mayank Shekhar is with us. Let's start the debate. Sona, where do you stand on this? Maneka Gandhi says, file a complaint, we'll take it up, we'll have our own women cyber cell, there's a hashtag I am trolled help, women can raise an alarm, and then the ministry and joint secretary will look into such complaints. Does this sort of make you feel more reassured?
I'd like to start by thanking the government. In this particular case, it's been 14 days since I've been experiencing this, and they've been swift in at least acknowledging that there's an issue at hand.
Right.
And sometimes the beginning of resolving a problem is by acknowledging. The healing process starts by acknowledging, saying there is an issue at hand. So I would like to thank them to start with. At the same time, of course, it's always open to debate as to what extent should the government be participating in this, because I firmly believe that what I've experienced in the last 14 days, because I'll be a little personal in this. This is a brand new menace. The cyber world is a whole different world, but it is just a reflection of reality of society. And so the bigger story of the rape culture, be it sexism, be it misogyny, be it violence, being ageism, bullying, intimidation, all these aspects are something that I have first-hand experienced. I have been pasted on to every porn site possible. I have really opened up my, my general knowledge to all kinds of mannerisms in which to shame and to kind of put you in your place. I'd like to say that while it is critical to acknowledge it first.
And what was your fault, just to repeat it for all our viewers? Sona Mohapatra's only fault was that she took on Salman Khan, who made that disgusting comment mocking rape victims. She took a stand on it on social media, right? And she said that it is not correct, and for that she faced this kind of trolling. Yes, Sona, sorry.
So I'd like to say that to just go a little ahead and like to see the bigger picture in all of this and say that whether we like it or not, we've reached an age where the children of our country, of the world, are pretty much attached to these devices very early on. And this issue is just as horrific and scary as any other. I must also add that I must take this opportunity to tell you guys that I didn't want to take it lying low. I didn't want to just let it pass by, because I do believe I'm a committed citizen. I'm an artist who engages with the socio-political environment. I like to engage with the system and not give up on it cynically, saying I'm privileged, I have done well in life, I can just go into my cocoon and shut my eyes and see this all fade away, because I have a support system who will let me, because I'm fairly successful, I'd like to add. So all of you people telling me I'll be out of work, I like to say that we are a 1 billion plus diaspora or more, and I am not worried or shivering with this threat that I have gotten repeatedly, apart from the other colorful threats. Coming back to this, I must say, Arnab, I did go to the police station. I did spend 6 hours out there, and it was interesting to see that we like to just, write off our systems, our police force, and, complain and be cynical. This was for the first time that they were even hearing about a story like a Twitter kind of thing. So initially it took them time to even understand it. But when they did, they were empathetic. And we went as regular citizens. We had no contacts, no pulls. We were sitting there for a long time. And the one incident that I want to share with the country here, use this platform, is I overheard a couple of things that was happening in the police station at that point of time. There was a 13-year-old girl whose case was going on at that point of time, where they were a bunch of guys who were intimidating her regularly. She's a school-going girl. Every time she came down from the bus, they were flashing her, they were writing into her. And I overheard the story of how she was also being intimidated online as well as in real life.
Sure.
And it made me believe that, oh my God, if I do not stand up and engage with this, make a bigger point out of it.
I find in your case, what I find most surprising is that, you're pretty sure that Salman Khan can't say that he didn't know or hear about what was happening to you. I find it surprising that Salman Khan never stood up and took on all those people who were trolling on his behalf. That did not happen. I mean, this was the worst kind of trolling that we saw here. But I want to take the debate forward. My question is, who can regulate the trolls? Sona, the fact that there needs to be regulation, nobody questions. But who can regulate the trolls?
I think the corporations can to start with. It would harm them maybe to see numbers shrink because there are digital armies, there are digital agencies.
In that
There's
case,
a lot of money.
In that case, in that case, take away anonymity from social media. I'm telling you're going to see things change. When people, hide behind anonymous handles, anonymous names, that anonymity gives the trolls the license to abuse and threaten. You are hiding your actual identity. You can do what you want. You have a legitimate license to be fly-by-night spewers of venom, incitement, hate, provocation, abuse, intimidation, without taking any responsibility for what you do. Yes, Sumanth, please. And the debate, and by the way, on the debate, Vikram, Advaita, Mayank, Karan, Shilpi, Sorabh, feel free to come in. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Arnab, first of all, do we have a problem? Yes, there is a problem, and I think the first step is acknowledging that. Is the solution for that what Mrs. Maneka Gandhi has suggested is, I think, is fairly obvious that it is not, because we already have 35 million plus users of Twitter on India alone, and how on earth the government is expected to police all of those people. Most importantly, what is to be surveyed for, what is to be looked for? There is no definition for what is offensive. There is no definition for obscenity. All of these are relative stuff. So if you are going to open a Pandora's box, if you're actually going to start by saying that the government will initiate action against anybody just because a lady files a complaint saying that something is offensive, it is completely bizarre.
No. Because
no, 1 minute. What is offensive? Please ask all those who are supporting this action to define what is offensive, what is obscene.
I think, Arnab, I did send your team a set of snapshots to even give an example of how targeted harassment can be.
Sure.
So we have to differentiate between free speech. I stand for freedom of expression above everything else. But targeted, personalized hate speech is not very tough to see in its horrendous.
No, I don't think it's a question of what is trolling or what is not. The fact of the matter is, who do we hold responsible and how do we go about it? Advaita Kala, can I bring you on the debate? I feel what's Sumanth? 1 minute. Advaita, please. Advaita.
Sorry, Arnab, I didn't get the question.
No, my point was, Advaita, the argument gets into technicalities, right? What is trolling, what is not. There is obviously a need to sort of intervene. But what about the anonymity which gives trolls a convenient cloak to legitimize verbal violence, intimidation and threat without taking or facing any kind of responsibility before the law in a country that prohibits it? Why aren't we addressing the core issue? The core issue is anonymity, isn't it? I mean, those who would be abusing Sona, saying whatever about her on social media, would not reveal their identities. I don't know why you disagree with that.
Issue. You can easily find out the IP address. You can easily find out the IP address.
Advaita.
That takes some investigation, but I think that's where Twitter gets a free pass, because they go with this anonymity, and that's really much a part of their policy, And on one hand, it works for some people who have certain considerations and cannot reveal themselves online. On the other hand, it's a guard really to go out there and be abusive and say things that you would never say face to face. So first thing, I think that first of all, trolling is not gendered. There's a lot of other kind of oppression that women experience I don't think necessarily trolling comes under that kind of gendered oppression. I think trolling, whatever I've seen online, whatever I've witnessed anecdotally, otherwise, it happens to men as well. They are targeted as well. There's a lot of abuse out there. So I don't necessarily think this is a women issue. While one backs the appeal and really wants public discourse to improve, be it in parliament or be it online, letting in the government to come in and regulate this is opening
what is the government going to do? Advaita, in this country, Advaita, in this country of 1.3 billion people, there are 15,000 police stations. Are you saying the government is now going to start regulating trollers? I mean, does Maneka Gandhi even know what she's talking about? I think Shilpi wanted to come in. Shilpi. Watch it. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Question. Yes, Shilpi.
On the question of anonymity, it's not true that only anonymous trolls abuse. I have with me journalists, politicians who've been trolling, abusing. So are we looking at them getting off online? It's not possible. Maybe it is possible, but it should not be selective. In case a journalist does it, it's not trolling. In case some anonymous or a person you can bully
that's a good point.
Does it, it's fine. Probably Maneka Gandhi or anybody could come in. That's not true. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you want some examples, I can actually give you. I have in front of me, there is a Hindustan Times lady, I wouldn't name, who says it to another lady, I see you haven't had your quota of sex with your mummy today. Now, that is from a lady to a lady. How do we go about it? And this is a Hindustan Times journalist whose columns come every now and then. She's not an anonymous
Let's
troll.
talk numbers in a country of 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
Let's talk percentages. Let's talk.
No, it's not numbers. It's
I have enough men who write in saying they are so harassed for, there's
exactly. I have another man here, which says, "Bin bulai aa gaye kutte ki tareh dash dash chaatne," and this is also to a woman. And the man is also a Times. He's a Times of India journalist. So I am specifying these places because I think there is a misconception that these trolls are some anonymous people who we can bully. That's not true. We have very eminent folks, and for example, just one more example. The last 2 days we have been having extremely highly sexist trolling of Smriti Irani. Are we asking all the hundreds of handles to be going off air because they've been trolling and abusing Smriti Irani? Is that what are we looking at?
Yeah. No. I think it's a valid point which you raise out
also,
here.
There is nothing called anonymity.
I think Shilpi raises a valid point. You see, the point is, what about politicians who troll? Anyone who knows what happens in social media know today that political parties.
Out on my journalist point.
And on the journalist point also, and as far as politicians also are concerned, and the point is not only about people who are unregulated. The same lobby that is hypersensitive on Twitter in their response to criticism is the same lobby calling for the regulation of trollers. Where was this elitist lobby that calls for a regulation of material online when Shweta Prasad's reputation was torn to shreds online? Who decides who should troll and who should not? If it is the pseudo-intellectual elite which condemns trolling and complains constantly about being victimized online, Mayank, by one section of the Twitterati, whose political views are not in tune with their own. There's enough political trolling going on. There's a significant amount.
And there is enough evidence that it has been happening.
Absolutely there is. And then there is a significant amount of hypocrisy as well, Shilpi, involved among those who troll others but complain about being trolled by others. Right? What about those who take to the social media to make snide remarks about others and use the medium of Twitter and Facebook on social media to pass messages that they will never do so verbally but cry foul when they are at the receiving end of the same treatment? Mayank, it's slightly more complex.
I think
I'll come. Mayank. No, we're not. Mayank.
And it should not be gender. It has to be gender neutral. It has to be gender neutral. It cannot be. Advaita has made a very valid point.
Of course, it has to be gender neutral.
Yes,
but
Mayank.
if you look at.
Right.
Mayank,
okay.
Speak.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Mayank. Not stopping.
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, of course you can. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. So, Arnab, I think I know that mainstream or legacy media takes Twitter far too seriously. But I personally find it a very fake medium, purely because like most of the stuff. I mean, most people who and I'm talking about millions here who seem to be so angry, they couldn't possibly be so angry as they seem on Twitter. Most regular people, they're really very self-obsessed. They're into selfies, cat pictures, and gyan on live that they share on Facebook and WhatsApp and stuff. So clearly the people here, they are either politically motivated, they have an agenda of their own. A lot of them are abusive agents. They've been, their origins have been found to be some random town in Thailand and stuff. So clearly this particular medium has been co-opted. Now Twitter by itself can do what Facebook has done in the past. There is a way to block anonymous abusers, and which is why you'll see far less trolling of the nature that happens on Twitter or on Facebook. I think the reason why Twitter hasn't done it is because it might hit their subscriber base, and I think that's not a fair way to go about it. Second, of course, I think going back to free speech, now I think I'm fully for free speech, including hate speech. Now, if there is somebody saying something which is extremely hateful, I think that, and he's doing it in public, I think that person should be purely exposed and shamed in the same way, so we know who holds what opinion. I think by killing it, I don't think we're serving any larger purpose. And so far as celebrities are concerned, I think by and large, I think it's become rather clear that if you can't take the heat, you should get out of the kitchen. No. And so it's part of the package. Now, how seriously we take it, and whether governments are going to be involved, I think in certain cases they might well be.
Karan, and then Sorabh and Vikram, feel free to come in. Yeah, Karan.
So I've been part of Twitter for many years now. I have been told
anonymous or real, Karan?
Both. I actually
you're also anonymous on. Why do you maintain two identities?
Not anymore.
Why did you?
Why did I? Because I got sick of being anonymous. I was like, it's fine.
Or were you an internet miscreant?
Absolutely not. I was.
You felt that it would give me.
Much more fearless when you're anonymous.
No. It was not very fearless. See, things get.
No, were you trolling anonymously?
Yes. So
you are a self-confessed anonymous Twitter troll.
That's correct. But let me explain.
No, 1 second. I want to do a deeper dive on it.
But let me
Why
explain.
did you do that? Were you a bully?
No.
Did you harass,
it wasn't
stalk
bullying.
or troll on Twitter?
So when I say troll, I think trolling is okay only when it's for the fun, for the
fun. Explain fun.
When I troll people, it was the point was the humor, the joke. It was not a personal attack.
No, but why don't you do it in your own name?
I didn't actually think about it till I realized I could do it in my own name. So it was an evolution of.
No.
That's fair enough.
It was an evolution of I don't know what I was doing, and I was trying to start discovering can I even be funny and make fun of people.
Yeah.
So what happened with me specifically is people who I was making fun of started following me back. Why would they do that if I was being mean or malicious? I wasn't being. My intent wasn't to hate on people. My intent was to make people laugh. Yeah. And that's when I think trolling is okay. When trolling crosses the line is when we've heard situations today about personal attacks that have no intent except for malice and hate. Yeah. That's when the line should be crossed.
I want to say something.
One point. I think the funniest thing tonight is that the government is saying we're going to stop trolling. 1 second. Shilpi, government is saying we're going to stop trolling. As in politicians are saying we're going to stop trolling. The biggest trolls are the politicians. They are the ones who feed off social media armies and attack each other obsessively.
And their agents.
And their agents, so-called influencers. And I'm telling you, I'm not taking names. I know some top politicians who are well-established trolls. And all they do is troll. And some of these people don't troll directly. They retweet something, put a question, is it true? I mean, so they are using their vast number of followers to simply troll and attack each other. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust politicians in a country, Sorabh, Pant, where a cartoonist is arrested because he mocked politicians and corruption in this country. These politicians want to turn around, Sorabh, and say, we are going to take care of you and stop the trolls. I mean, 66A was passed unanimously in Parliament under the Information Technology Act to keep a check and curb internet freedom. Simple. I don't trust any politician today who comes and says, I'm going to take care of your interests. Sorabh.
So what is the solution?
The solution.
Because there is an issue.
Absolutely. Like 66A is the biggest problem that we're talking about here. Because what we've discovered repeatedly is that, is that if you give the politicians any kind of leeway with regards to these kind of laws, they're going to exploit it to different ways and quell all different things. I do understand that there's a massive problem specifically with regards to trolling women online, and I think the difference between trolling and not trolling is basic, and the part where it gets controversial is the bit where you get threats. The number of rape threats and people basically trolls telling women online that I'm going to take you to a corner dark alley and rape you and shit like that is not tolerable in any civilized society. So that's maybe, but again, I completely agree with you in the sense that the government should not be in charge of controlling these guys. But however, we should be using online threats and things like that with the same rules as we apply to say something as eve teasing and things like that.
Mayank,
because the problem is
Sona. Sorry.
I've been meaning to reply to Mayank when you talked about if the heat is too much, get out of the kitchen. It's akin to saying that if the streets of your city are not safe for you to walk in, you should stop walking out there because you have a pair of breasts which are going to attract these heinous people to grab you and do things with you. Because you know what? Whether we like it or not, the internet is here to stay. We all exist
you got me wrong. That's not what I was saying.
in this online space. I'm just telling you how I'm processing it. Because I have felt extremely unsafe, extremely vulnerable, and there is a reason why there is a ministry for women and children, and there is a reason why the government has a ministry. How they're operating it, going away from it, and dissecting it, saying that politicians do this too, does not take away from the fact that we have to acknowledge as a society that there's a reason to look out for the more vulnerable section. I like to think I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm protected, I am not amongst them, but I'm still a gender which is treated very differently from the other gender. So
but it's not a gender issue alone. I mean, there's peer trolling among children. There's peer trolling among children, which is a very dangerous issue.
Yes, it is.
Right? And they're equally sensitive as well.
As real and as scary. And let us say something.
Vikram Bhatt hasn't come in yet. Vikram, where do you stand? Okay, Vikram can't hear us. Yes, Mayank, you were responding. Sumanth was responding. Go ahead, please.
Arnab, see, the issue is one, there is no true anonymity on Twitter. Please, I think let everyone understand, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, there is no true anonymity. The government, with the support of the organization, can easily identify the IP address. That's the first point. Second point, very, very importantly, the concept of holding the platform provider responsible in some way just doesn't make sense. Arnab, if I pick up my phone and I call you on the mobile and I threaten you, you can't hold Airtel or Idea or whoever the service provider responsible. Their responsibility ends with giving the necessary security measures in place, having the necessary audit trails, giving the facility to block people whom you don't want, and so on. So saying that it's Twitter's responsibility or Facebook's responsibility is simply absurd. It's the individual's responsibility. He or she can be traced.
No.
It is possible to trace, and they should be held accountable. How is Twitter answerable?
Have a security check.
No.
It's like, I mean, this is an absurd analogy, but to me right now, because probably I'm in a space which
what is absurd about it? Somebody is providing a platform.
Sumanth, 1 minute. Listen to us, Sumanth.
If Facebook can put a filter in place which kind of minimizes the filth that occurs there, because I had an open letter which went viral where I wanted to use only my page. I've refused every television and every media interview in the last 14 days, saying I want to maintain my peace, my dignity in all of this. I'm not doing this to become famous overnight. But if Facebook can put measures and checks in place to keep the filth in control, I don't see any reason why the other media and the other corporations cannot put some basic checks in place.
Sumanth, 1 minute. Sumanth, 1 minute. Listen to. She's someone who's experienced in that. 1 minute. Sumanth, 1 minute. Sumanth, please. Please. Sumanth, stop trolling on the program. 1 minute. Listen to me. Sumanth, listen. 1 second. So Sona, can I come in? Sumanth, don't listen to the experience here. Shilpi, before you come in.
It's a mob frenzy.
Point is this. Can I have Shilpi on the other side? Can Vikram come into the debate? The point is, deny the troll the convenient cloak of anonymity. Simple. deny them the convenient cloak of anonymity to legitimize verbal violence, intimidation and threat without taking accountability. Don't give them that escape route.
They're not anonymous.
Don't.
That's why 10 people have to be made an example of right
on
now.
On Facebook there's no anonymity, but on Twitter there is.
Even on Twitter.
Shilpi is responding. Shilpi.
Yeah. No, not true. Not true. There are enough measures taken by the Twitter very recently. When you block, how you make your IDs, everything is there. That's not true. That and anonymity is also my right. It's not. I'm not an anonymous troll or anybody, but I respect the other person of keeping his identity the way he wants it. And I have a point here about freedom of expression. I don't understand how online medium is different from films and books. If I can rejoice an Urta Punjab getting through with one cut, I don't see why we are making cuts on online expressions. It makes no sense to me.
Fair enough. I have to add one thing here.
No, one second. I just wanted to get Vikram Bhatt on that debate. I'm just on the. Vikram, can you hear me now? Vikram, let's look at it. Vikram, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you were having this argument here, this discussion going on what can.
Let me just put this into perspective.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I think you heard it. Yeah. Go on. Go on, Vikram.
Arnab, see, the point I'd like to make is that. First of all, let's understand that trolling is a continuous messaging to a person. One tweet or two tweets doesn't really make trolling. Also, let's understand that trolling happens from all over the world, just not from India. These accounts are not just India-based. But what I want to say is that when I had this recent problem, this run-in with KRK, what I found is that these social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook are all email based. There is no real person that you're talking to out there. I think if you have an ombudsman of these people where you can go and talk to them and say, listen, this is what's happening to us, then there is a dialogue that can form. Right now you're talking to nobody.
So what
that's the most important point. Also, let's understand Facebook.
Vikram, one sec. What are you suggesting? You are suggesting a ministry for trolls?
Yeah.
A ministry for Twitter and Facebook? To manage them on a daily basis?
I am saying.
I mean, yeah.
No, absolutely not. I'm suggesting that there should be.
Pardon me?
Scarier.
Yes, pardon me?
No, I'm not at all saying that there should be a ministry of trolls. What I'm trying to say is that there should be some person from Twitter or Facebook that you can reach in case you want to talk to somebody.
So just one second. Facebook has 142 million users in India, not anonymous. Twitter has 22 million users in India. I don't know how many of them are anonymous.
Yes.
Are you saying there should be a ministry for Twitter or a ministry for social media anonymity, and then have a police department where your local policeman sits on a computer and monitors every tweet that goes out in the medium? I mean, is this real?
That is absurd.
Is it real, Vikram? Are you actually saying that happens?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm asking you that because I think it's unreal. There are 106 policemen.
I'm not even saying that. You don't understand what I'm trying to say.
No. Who?
I am saying there is no person from the side of Twitter or from Facebook who you can go and meet. I'm not talking about a ministry. I am saying that if you want to complain to Twitter, who do you complain to?
So listen.
You writ an email, right?
No, but the simple thing is
Twitter is in a position to
Vikram, just one point. Vikram, listen. Vikram, look, listen. I don't understand why you're not understanding where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
The debate here is about what is the encouragement for trolling, right? I'm saying today, anonymity is the encouragement that abusive trollers feed and breathe by.
Nothing in the whole scheme of things. I'd like to bring up the point of digital armies, paid digital armies.
No. You have trollers. Please understand that trollers are even there on my Facebook page. My Facebook page has got people who are not anonymous, and I can show you the page that's filled with trollers. So it's got nothing to do with anonymity. And it's got bad language also.
And in fact,
Anonymity
there is
So it's not anonymity.
media
When a
news
person
portal.
is not known by...
It's about spreading canards also. I don't understand why only abuse is being discussed here. There are spreading canards. I can be in the most decent manner. I could be spreading canards about somebody. And there's a news portal recently which branded a Twitter handle as a murderer.
Rumors, all kinds of...
Do you really think that is possible? And how can somebody... will you be asking that news portal to get off the online space? Somebody has to understand that you're talking about personal. Everybody is looking at a personal space. Nobody probably even knows that what I have been through. So I'm not trying to make it personal. I've been threatened of rape. A very very popular story is that. But that I have not gone to all these complaints, and I'm defending that right. I'm defending that right to be able to say those things.
Shilpi.
Anything, not rape. Not rape.
Shilpi,
I have
today's debate.
Shilpi,
may I come in? Today's debate starts from what point? It starts with Maneka Gandhi saying, and I want to get you in, Karan, saying that.
And I don't agree with it.
Come to us, right? Maneka Gandhi says, come to us, we'll take you through a process. There'll be a joint secretary, there'll be a bureaucrat, we'll take it up and we'll take action. Now, my point is who on earth are the politicians, Karan, to sit and decide? I remember in August 2014, Jaya Bachchan stood up in Parliament and she took objection to radio jockeys mimicking parliamentarians. And she said to the government, take action. Right? At that point of time, someone stood up and said, yes, I will look into it. I think it was Prakash Javadekar. I mean, if this is the kind of... I don't trust these politicians anymore. In the lead up to the Lok Sabha elections, there was a restaurant in Mumbai which poked fun at the UPA government's tax policy on its bill. Instead of taking it with a pinch of salt, the Congress responded to the joke by sending the Youth Congress to vandalize the space and force the restaurant to shut down. I don't trust these congressmen, these BJP people, these independent MPs and MLAs, and I don't understand, Mayank, why we are not addressing the issue. Every single opportunity that the politicians get to poke their nose into people's affairs without being sincere about it, only to protect their own turf, like we saw in 66, they're going to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Yes, please. Yes,
I have to say, I spent a lot of time on social media, so I'm not an expert, but I can tell you that the biggest political trolls are people who are actually followed by politicians. They're not politicians necessarily, people who follow them.
Right.
They seem to be emboldened and empowered, and you're absolutely right. I have not heard one idea here that can actually be implemented that can actually stop trolls in an effective way. Whether Maneka Gandhi said it's impossible, the government cannot do anything. We are honestly, it's utopia. We can't get there. It's impossible. I think we just have to deal with it.
I have a set of suggestions.
No. Let's be very direct. For example, Arvind Kejriwal and Subramaniam Swamy. Right? No, one sec. Just one point. Arvind Kejriwal, Subramaniam Swamy, and a few other politicians. You say one thing against them, that the entire army is unleashed on you, and that's seen to be a sign of power. Like, this is my digital army.
It's a mob.
Right, Advaita? It's almost like there is a complete intolerant instinct. Oh my God, you took on these individuals. Do you know how many million followers they have? We are going to get all of them let loose on you. We'll leave telephone numbers. We'll leave telephone numbers and trails. We'll harass you. We'll spread it among these armies, and there's zero accountability as far as many of these politicians and their Twitter followers are concerned. And it is almost as if Advaita and Sumanth come to the point: are they not as bad as the KRKs and the others who Vikram Bhatt is talking about? Advaita?
Arnab, absolutely. And
there's a lot of, when you define online
Advaita,
behavior
please, first. Advaita, please. I asked Advaita to speak first. Yeah, Advaita. Yeah, go on.
When you define online behavior, I don't think you should just stop at trolling. I think there's also troll baiting, and what you've described right here is exactly that. You kind of put someone out there and then the armies are unleashed. This happens most certainly. Twitter is a dynamic medium. It had its moment with the Arab Spring. Nowadays we hear about it mostly in the context of trolling. It's evolving. I think what you say about anonymity has a point. I think it enables, to a certain extent, bad behavior, abusive behavior on Twitter. There's no denying that. I also agree agree with the fact that it's very difficult to moderate the internet, and I am very suspicious. Politicians are always looking for a way in as far as this is concerned. I am very suspicious of politicians of any hue from any political party to step into this and start regulating behavior. You cannot have a position against censorship in films and then say, please come and censor language online. You just cannot do that. It's incompatible.
Yes. Sorabh Pant, please.
It's not going to solve the issue of trolling.
Yeah, I think the big point here is to try and understand the difference between somebody who's trolling. I'm absolutely fine with anonymous accounts and absolutely fine with trolling up to a certain level, because that's what, oddly enough, Twitter is based on. However, the threatening thing is where the problem lies. I think involving the government in something like this is absolutely absurd, and giving them power, again, completely on the same boat as you guys, where basically giving them this power is completely useless. I think as Sona mentioned right up top is that when she went to the cops, they basically tried and understood what the problem was, and then they dealt with it. I think maybe it's a far simpler thing where you just train the cops to try and understand. It's a very simple thing. This is what Twitter is. If somebody threatens a woman with rape online, that is considered sexual harassment and treated as that. It's literally that simple, without government intervention trying to basically dictate how we run our online lives.
I completely agree, which is why...
Can the message spread public hate or public disorder? Is it likely, is there an implied threat in it? I think these are the two things that we have to segregate from quote unquote whatever we call as obscenity.
What is the definition of public disorder? Sorry, one second. Come on, Sumanth. Sumanth, be real. Sumanth, listen. Sumanth, listen. 1 minute, listen to me.
Arrested a man who tweeted, one minute, who put up a post saying Karthi Chidambaram, son of former finance minister, he made allegations of corruption. The guy was arrested. Okay, so you will have this kind of thing happening all over again if you allow the government to start regulating this whole thing. You have to understand everything is relative. You don't have a definition for public disorder. You don't have a definition for obscenity. You don't have a definition for what constitutes even objectionable content. So you have a problem there. The first step is to define this.
Yes, Mayank. Sumanth, 1 minute. Mayank wants to counter you. Please remember one thing. 2 professors from Jadavpur were sent to jail for making cartoons that mock Mamta Banerjee.
All I've been trying to say...
21-year-old girl killed herself 2 days ago because she was shamed with these nude, semi-nude...
No, so I mean, we keep tom-tomming... Arnab, we keep tom-tomming about the fact that there are millions of users both of Facebook and Twitter, and it's very hard to regulate the platform by itself, and that's what I was talking about before. You know, like 99% of the trolling that happens is random hate stuff that you can't even take too seriously and you should be able to ignore. But then there is that 1%, it's only that 1%, or perhaps much lower than that, when there is a genuine threat. And if there is a genuine physical threat, which in the real world would not be acceptable, should not be acceptable on the online world also. So it will actually be a very small number where there is actually genuine physical intimidation, and you should be able to go to the cops, and if there is defamation, you should be able to file a lawsuit as you do in the real world.
Advaita, what do you do when the threat is...
I have a feeling, I find Twitter to be a fake medium, is actually not real people.
No. You know, there are very real people who are affected by what we are talking about. Remember, I just want to give you in perspective, a school-going teenager in Rampur was arrested for posting objectionable comments against Azam Khan. A poet from Uttar Pradesh was arrested for slapping the Samajwadi Party government on Facebook for suspending an IAS officer. At that point of time, whose fault was it? Facebook or the Samajwadi Party government? Obviously, it's the government. So let's, understand. You want to shoot the messenger? You want to shoot the messenger? Yeah, go to the root of the problem. Advaita was coming in. Advaita.
Arnab, last year, this is even beyond Twitter. It's what happens online. You had a 17-year-old girl in Kolkata commit suicide because some boys morphed her picture and shared it online. So this is very serious. There is a serious element to this, and I don't think we should get caught up. Twitter is very noisy. As you can see, it is very noisy. You don't even have to be on Twitter to be trolled. I think you'll know that, Arnab. I mean, you don't have to be on Twitter to be trolled. People are saying things about everyone all the time. That's the medium. Twitter does give you tools to tailor your experience. You can mute, you can block, you can report, you can do all of those things. You definitely have some element of control. You don't have all the control on Twitter. And I think that's something that people need to accept. Should there be punishment for cyber stalking, for threatening, for things that actually do materialize? I mean, look at the kind of indoctrination that goes on Twitter, the way ISIS operates on Twitter. There are hugely problematic things with this medium, and we have to look at them in all seriousness and not be cavalier about it. However, I think getting the government involved is a problem. I think you need better laws. I think you need better implementation. But I don't want politicians walking on the timeline.
By the way.
Yes, Sorabh.
One second, this is a very specific India problem. Twitter is running all across the globe without too many repercussions with regards to this kind of thing, where we are again straight away basically saying it's a problem with the medium. I don't think the medium is at problem. I think the problem is with how we are as Indians. And here is where I think Maneka Gandhi's intention was great, but again, government intervention into this kind of thing is completely unwanted. There is no requirement to this. It comes back to the same point where cops need to be told about the fact that, hey, listen, if there's somebody threatening, whether it's cyber stalking, whether it's threatening somebody with rape, whether it's threatening, even again, this should be gender neutral. Men get threats all the time as well. Like Rajdeep Sardesai got trolled like a crazy person for saying any minor thing at any stage. So everyone should be held accountable, as Mayank said, for saying something online which would be construed as a threat offline as well. I mean, this is the same thing.
We have a web cell, we have a cyber cell, and I agree with that. I completely agree that there is no need to go into a frenzy of saying that we have a hashtag which will
how are you saying trolling is an Indian problem? I mean, I don't quite get that, Sorabh. Yeah, Shilpi.
No, I meant complaining about
Shilpi Tiwari.
Blaming the Twitter, website for
any institutional response needs to be thought through, and cannot be a knee-jerk. It cannot be because a person.
Yeah, Shilpi is responding
because a person is getting trolled or not getting trolled. It has to be thought through. It cannot be knee-jerk. Any institutional response. There might be a possibility of an institutional response, but it cannot be something like, you are monitoring everyone. I cannot have a nanny or a big brother, looking at my timeline all the time. That's not the idea of an institutional response. Very serious things like Advaita has pointed out should be taken care of, and should be taken care of as per laws. Personal complaints will happen. Monitoring is a big no.
Well, absolutely. Well,
it cannot be veiled 66A.
Twitter trolls is that they are a reflection of India.
Twitter trolls are a reflection of India. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Karan is responding to that. Oh, for God's sake, one second. Karan is responding to Sorabh. One at a time, please. Karan, please go ahead. Karan and Sorabh.
Today, if you go on Hillary Clinton, her Twitter page and see her mentions, almost every second tweet is a highly abusive tweet.
Yeah.
People are going at her hardcore. And so it's not obviously an Indian thing, it's a global thing. And I actually have a question.
Are they threatening gang rape?
I completely disagree. I think the amount of charges against women is way beyond. Like, I've gone through some of the timelines. It's horrific. It's horrific stuff to go through, and it's generally a social problem that we have. So I don't think blaming the messenger, in this case Twitter, is the answer.
No, but Trump is trolled too, and Trump supporters troll as well. So what are you talking about? I mean, come on.
Sorry,
No, Trump is trolled, Trump supporters troll, and they troll others, and they are trolled by others. How is it an Indian problem?
But again,
how is it an Indian problem? I didn't understand that. Yes, Shilpi is also coming in. We're extending the debate.
The same kind of trolls. They're horrible people.
That is the problem. That is the problem, that everybody seems to be looking at the Twitter world or the SM world from their own specific mentions. And that is not the world. You have to see the every side is complaining about trolling. And it has to be equal opportunity for all, whatever happens. And that is not, unfortunately, it's not happening right now, because I've seen hundreds of complaints on the hashtag, and only one has been responded to, and that was probably because the media had taken note of it.
All right. Okay. No. I'm going to close. I'm going to close at this point. Many perspectives did come on. So what's
I
your
hope
what's
Twitter
your what's your
evolves like
what's your
Karan,
what's
you
your
did
anonymous
from
identity?
anonymous to-
I can't see on TV, right?
No, you've got to reveal your anonymous identity
I have
on
no
TV.
issues. I have no issues.
I'm just pulling your leg.
But before you go, before you go, I have one thing to say. One thing to say.
I'm wrapping up right now.
Before we, in this entire panel, Arnab, you're the one who gets trolled the most out of all of us. You are the subject of
And
most
we are
trolling.
hoping that the online world evolves just like you did. From Bollywood, whatever you wear, to Karan Talwar.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're counting on evolution.
Karan, you know what? The politicians troll me anyway. Right? Some of them
And
do
even
so
the
directly.
icons that we
Some of
choose
them
to
do so
clarify,
directly. Some of them
I'm
do so
counting on
indirectly.
evolution.
So the lesson is don't feed the trolls, right? Is that
Well, I don't know. I like to focus on my work.
But Arnab, you always win offline, so.
Well. We'll take that debate forward. Stop trolling me now. Thank you very much, Sorabh and everyone, for joining me on debate number 2 tonight. Thank you.